Hey everyone, Terry Arbor here with the next installment, the next lesson in Guitarjitsu. I think this is lesson 11. We're going to get into the pentatonic scales. We're going to cover minor first and major, but it's the same shapes. It's the same shapes. What we're going to learn today is the shapes and what they look like, and I'm going to show you how I want you to learn them and practice them. It's going to be about 3 lessons, I think, on the minor pentatonic, and by the end of the last one, you should have complete and utter freedom to play the minor pentatonic, all 5 boxes, everywhere on the fretboard. A lot of people teach the pentatonic scale. They'll teach box 1 and box 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they'll say that you can play the whole fretboard, and they'll play over the whole fretboard now that 5 boxes, but you really can. You really can. Not really. And even they don't do it. They play box 1 with the extension box on top of it and the little extension box on the bottom. And then they'll move box 1 up to the upper fretboard. If you don't know what I mean by upper fretboard, last lesson. And if you just came to this looking up pentatonic scale stuff, you can get something out of this. But you'd be better served if you went back to watch the introduction, because I have to give you information on how to study Guitarjitsu, and then follow each lesson along and keep up with this and work up to this point. It's not hard or anything. It just takes some practice, and that way you'll be able to make use of everything that I'm going to teach you in this pentatonic course a lot more. So anyway, I guess that's it. To practice these scales, I want you just to practice in one place. I don't want you to put the first box by the second and third, because all that does is make you dependent on playing in a key. Like I played in the key A. I still play in the key A a lot today. But you'll get stuck in a key because you'll learn the frets for box 3, and you'll start looking at the frets for box 3 in a particular key. And then you're when you change keys playing with a group, you're kind of lost, because all of a sudden now all you know for sure is where the box 1 is, and then you have to figure it out again. So we don't go that way. Play these scales in one spot at this phase of playing it anyway. But let's get to it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the representation of a flashcard. I told you last lesson to get some flashcards. What I want you to do on one side of the flashcard, I want you to draw the scale diagram. In this case, it's box 1 of the pentatonic scale. And then on the other side of that flashcard, I want you to draw number 1. Okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to have 5 flashcards, 1 for each box of the pentatonic scale. And now this is something that you need to know how to do, is recognize the box 1 shape just by looking at it. You need to know the box 2 shape just by looking at it. I'm going to show you all in larger form the scale shapes and what number it is in just a moment. And you need to write it in your journal, and you need to make these flashcards. And the exercise I want you to do with the flashcards is I want you to put it scale diagram up, so the numbers are on the back, and then look away and shuffle it. And then look at the diagram and try to name what number box it is, and check and see if you're right. And then I want you to play it on the guitar. And right before you play it, I want you to look at your fretboard, and I want you to look at the diagram, and I want you to visualize it wherever you're going to play it at, and then play it. And then shuffle the cards, pick another number, or look at the scale diagram, try to name what number box it is, and see if you're right. And then visualize it and play it. And that's why I want you to work at that. That's the first exercise with the flashcards. The second and last exercise with the flashcards is I want you to turn the cards over so the numbers are up and the diagram are hidden. And I want you to shuffle them and look at the number, and then try to visualize and play that box, and then flip it over to see if you were correct. It's not hard. There's just 5 of them. And they're pretty distinctive. They look different. The 3rd box looks nothing like the 1st box. The 5th box looks nothing like the 4th box. They're all pretty distinctive, and they never change. So it's only 5 of them. So once you get used to this, visualizing it and everything, it's going to really serve you. That's what you got to do to actually use the pentatonic, the whole pentatonic scale. To use it, you've got to be able to visualize it. It's not hard. It's just a different approach most people don't take. So if you have any questions about it, you know, just really thoroughly, you comment and stuff, I'll answer. But if you have it, just you want to thoroughly learn this. You want to thoroughly learn the shape by looking at it, visualize it, play it, and give yourself a week. You know, really make sure that you got this under your fingers. Make sure that you know the first, second, third, fourth, fifth box. And some people call the second box the first box. Don't listen to them. You're doing Guitarjitsu. So in the Guitarjitsu world, the one I said was box 1 is always going to be box 1, because we simplify things here. We don't make it complicated. And then once we learn these box shapes, you don't have to relearn other box shapes for pentatonic. These are going to be both major and minor, depending on where we orient the root note in it. And I'll show you all that. You're going to get a lot out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and now diagram the scales out for you, and go ahead and pause. When I do it, pause it and write it down. And here we go. Here is box 1. That's the main one people call the home row. So pause it, diagram it in your journal if you don't already know it. And here we go with box 2. There's box number 2. Forgot to write the number down, I'm sorry. There's box 2. See how different it looks than box 1? Can't really be mistaken for box 1. It's completely different. Box 3, look how distinctive. Yeah, box 3. Box 4. And box 5. I hope that you kind of can see how distinctive each one is, especially once you start actually getting them under your finger and stuff, your fingers. You'll see how they sound different. I think they sound different anyway. It's the same notes over and over again, so you may disagree with that, but you'll see how it's completely different to play it. It's a different feeling. And just do the exercises that I gave you the first of the video, and don't skip it. Don't skip it, because you want to be able to visualize it. You want to be able to know that box 3 is box 3. You just want to know that. You want to be able to tell that. And we'll go on to the next one. It's going to get really cool. It's going to get really cool. So this is kind of like just the inlet into the pentatonic scale, to be able to recognize what box you're playing where, or what box you're playing when you see it. When you see it somewhere, hey, that's box 3. Or whatever, box 4. Anyway, I'm rambling. Sorry. Been driving all day and stuff. So anyway, like and subscribe, and you don't want to miss a video. And go and catch up if you're behind. You know, work at your own pace, of course. The videos aren't going anywhere. I'm not going to take them down. They're up. And I make these videos for the guitar player. I don't make it to make a living off YouTube. I would love to have 100,000 subscribers, or 1 million, or whatever. Sure. But I mean, how many guitar players are interested in really knowing their fretboard? And I mean, I don't know. So, you know, if I can help one, I would make these videos for one of you. I would make these videos for one of you if it was going to help you. And I have been known to do that with different things, make videos just because people ask me to, you know, and I take them down after that person saw it. But anyway, thanks for watching and everything. And if you got any questions, comment below and ask me. Like, subscribe, and tell your friends about me. And see you in the next lesson.